So if you see those there behind me, that's for our mini bike giveaway. Stay tuned to the end, find out if you won my 2024 Riehu. I gotta get this greaves out of here. I got a special plan for it coming up. And I thought it was gonna be very easy to make run. It's now time to give away our mini bike. Yay! No, not you, Bruno. Hey, it's Dave from Bullpen Cycles, and this is, well, you saw it. It's my 2024 Riehu. And, well, I got some stuff for it. We're gonna see if we can make it into a proper dual sport. First thing we gotta do is, we got this, it's a 2.5 gallon tank, and you think that would be ample. Well, it's not. If you're racing this, and I'm not, you're lucky to get about, I guess, 32 miles. Maybe it's got a 50-mile range or thereabouts if you're dual sporting. So we got a bigger tank and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can see I fudged a license plate there. Because if you just bolt it here and have it pointing to the sky, you're asking to get pulled over. Now, this is just a piece of rubber. They actually make a tail for it that will hold the license plate vertical, and you can mount turn signals, which the wires are here under the fender tail. But that is in Spain, and it's on special order. So it's gotta go on a boat and have me pay some tariffs, and it'll be a while till it gets here. But we've got a dual sport run coming up, and I don't know if I'm gonna run this or something else. We're gonna get started on this. We're gonna get started on some other stuff and see where we go. So first, let's see what we got. I don't even remember what I ordered. But it's all right here. All right, we got a skid plate from TM Design Works. It's polyurethane. What's this? Hand guards, HP2. Now, I paid for this stuff myself. This is not sponsored off Temu or whatever. Here we got an FMF pipe, and the reason I got this pipe is, well, you can't see it, but the factory pipe, no spark arrestor in that. So we gotta change that. And what's in this giant box? Well, you can probably guess. It is a larger fuel tank. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's got no spout. So we have to deal with that. That's this. It's a spout, and I had to order an extra fuel cap because when you order the spout kit, it comes with an unvented cap. So you gotta buy a second cap and throw the unvented one away. You can put something called a dry brake on that. I don't even know what that is, but they're made for a dry brake, and then you vent the tank separately, which is why they don't come with a vented cap. I don't understand all that, but so we're gonna see how all this stuff fits, see what it looks like. Oh, but you know what? You should hear this thing go before we start screwing with it. So if you see those there behind me, That's for our mini bike giveaway. Stay tuned to the end, find out if you won. In the meantime, let me at least zip tie a plate on here so I'm sort of kind of legal. Well, see there's a radar right there, it says 25 miles an hour, so that's all we can do. And gee, in that little bit, I got a visitor. So let's see what this is about and then get back to work. So on this side, the side panel just pops off. You just pull it off and that gets you to the airbox. This side you actually have to unscrew and you have to get to it so that you can get to the seat. And it's a royal pain in the butt. I don't know why it isn't like Beta that has a button or SWM. You just got a zip nut. Why you have to take stuff apart with tools to take the seat out. And the battery's under the seat. Now I think it does pop out. I think. I don't want to break it. What I want to do is lay that tank on there, see how it fits, and see how the side panels lay up, because it's supposed to work with the stock side panels. And while we're at it, while we have everything off, we'll swap out that FMF pipe. Why is that not coming off? We'll find out in a second. Oh, look, because it's bolted on here. Okay, so this side panel is actually bolted under there. You've got to take the seat off to remove this side panel. This seat bolt was missing. It doesn't go there. The seat's held on with one bolt and that clip. And here's your battery. It's a lithium battery. So let's take a look at these tanks real quick. Here's the stock tank on the left. Pretty similar. Just dimensionally larger in this area. Slightly deeper here. Not really that much of a difference. They say it's 0.9 gallons. Wonder if it's worth it. So we got our tank on. You got to get your own screws, as they don't come with the right screws for the plastics. You can't use the Riehu sheet metal type screws, and you need to replace your seat post. That's called a seat button. I don't have one. I ordered one online. That's because that's another M5 threaded screw and not a sheet metal screw. I made that out of a top hat washer and another screw. It's time to put our bash plate on, but I found this out the hard way. You got to remove the whole pipe. So even though I got the muffler on, I got to take it all off because this fits under the pipe. It doesn't protect the pipe. We're going to throw it on the lift for that. And these are HP2 hand guards by, I think, is that a One Tech? And don't get these. They're total garbage. I'm going to throw them in the trash. First off, if you move all this stuff out of the way, relocate that kill switch, move the mirror over, get that there. It doesn't want to fit, and it won't protect your levers. Now, I know some people don't like flag guards, and I don't really either, but they were inexpensive, and it's money totally wasted. They're going in the garbage. I got a set of Serbi closed loop guards. We're gonna put them on. In the meantime, let's get this on the lift so we can get that bash plate on. First off, I gotta get this greaves out of here. I got a special plan for it coming up. Don't know if that'll be on this video or the next, but should be good. Let's get this out of the way temporarily. Excuse me, Bruno. Okay, they're started there. And we're gonna keep that lined up while we put that in there. Can I even get that started? Oh my, that's gonna be a pain. Ain't gonna stay. What a pain. Okay, I got it lined up. It's a little hard, but once you get it lined up, it's okay. We're getting it ready for the Cross Florida Rally, which I don't know if I'm gonna make it or what bike I'm gonna run. But next, we're gonna take this off and put our greaves back on. I got something special coming up with that. So I told you I was gonna do something special with this greaves, and that's what we're gonna do. So first, we have to put this in here. Then we got to close the door. Have to get our wand. It's our trusty old wooden screwdriver. Not a snap-on. Definitely no snap-on. Then we tap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Say the magic word, abracadabra. And nothing. Nuts. Oh, I know. That's not the magic word. We're in the new millennium now. Here we go. Megalekahai mekahini ho. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here goes. Ta-da! 2. Thank you, Pee Wee Herman. Let's get these unloaded. All right, this is my first one. This goes all the way back to one of my earliest videos. And another episode of Guess What's in the Trailer. As always, here's your hint. That's a little too much of a hint. And I thought it was going to be very easy to make run. And I was wrong. I've been working on this off and on, maybe 3 years. Yes, Bruno, 3 years. And let's see, we've done, stop it. We've done crank seals at least once, both sides. The ignition, rechecked it. The ignition is Swedish. We've had the top end off twice. It's on a fresh bore. I've gone through the carburetor a bunch of times, and I can only get it to fire up on the roller starter, and then it immediately floods out and won't start. Here's the question. What do you do when you can't get your bike started? What do you do when you screwed up once? You remember, I just answered this question in the last video when I bought that Riehu. Here's what I said. So the rule is, if you do something once and it doesn't work out, well, of course, you do it again. The answer is, of course, you buy another one. That's always the answer. So now we have 2. So the guy made this side stand out of a normal triangle. That's pretty clever. There it is. I like that. Tank could use some help, but it actually looks as nice as mine, if not slightly better. So why did I do this, Dave? Yeah, Dave. What? Are you a glutton for punishment? Well, my theory is, and it's a theory, my theory is someone had that carburetor part over the years, and they have the wrong slide or the wrong needle or the wrong diffuser. Even though I put the right jets in, something's not right. That's my guess. That's why it's flooding out. This one is supposed to run. So if that's the case, I can switch things. Yeah, see? That's the ticket. And I think it's in the carburetor. But first, we have to see if this runs. Or did I just screw myself twice? And I'm gonna go to the wall. A little too close. Boy, those are loud. Dynamite. So now we have a plan. It even goes in gear. I didn't ignore it, but I was traveling. It's now time to give away our mini bike. Yay! No, not you, Bruno. Bruno's staying here. Anyway, so here's how we had to do it. And, you know, it's kind of kludgy, but first I wanted to be completely transparent, so I'm not the one that's gonna pick the winner. For that, we're gonna call Mrs. Claus. But first, a little bit of background. We put a poll up. We put a poll, which mini bike do you like best? The old mini bike, which was a Bronco Renegade, actually Italian, made by Fantic, or the new mini bike from Amazon, which, well, it's made in China. The thing about the Chinese bike is it always ran. The thing about the old 40-year-old Italian bike is you always got to screw with it. But the results, well, they were pretty overwhelmingly one-sided. 91% of you wanted the old Fantic Bronco Renegade. And well, that's actually not surprising, considering this channel is about vintage motorbikes, but 9% of you wanted the Amazon bike. And I would like the Amazon bike. It certainly was cheap enough. It seemed to run okay, but boy, I need suspension. So if I'm ever gonna get one again, it's either gonna be an old one that's done or a new one with suspension. Now, if you voted, because of a stupid little quirk on YouTube, I can't see who voted. So you actually had to leave a comment so that I could figure out that you participated. If you didn't leave a comment, I can't tell who you are, and I can't really announce an anonymous winner. So we've got 34 people that actually dropped a comment to our poll and a couple of other outliers, but you actually had to comment to the poll, not send me an email. So I have to cut it somewhere for the people that actually did it the right way. But I thank you all for participating, and I'm going to go back and give some t-shirts to some of the other folks who might not win the mini bike. But with that, let's call Mrs. Claus.
Hello?
Ho, 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 ho. It's Mrs. Claus.
Oh.
So this is Santa calling from our southern headquarters. I need you to pick our winner. So pick a winner between 1 and 34.
Oh, how about 28?
Number 28 it is. Ha ha ha. So now I have to go see who that really is. I hope he was good. Number 28, you said?
Yes, I did. 28.
All right. Thank you. I have to look it up. I'll let you know in a bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Claus. I'm just going to scroll 28 down from the top and not count my own. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Still crazy. So if you're still crazy, that was 3 weeks ago. He says, been looking for a little bike for a while now. Would be awesome to win one of these and ride with my dad while he's on his XR 150. So, still crazy? Drop me an email, give me a phone call, dave@bullpencycles.com. You can Google the phone number. You win. Let's figure out how to get you your new or old mini bike. Still crazy with 2 Y's. You are the winner. I hope you were a good boy or girl